Hi, everybody. Welcome to yet another Just Gaming Tingz Podcast episode. Boo, 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 boo. Episode 20. Can y'all believe?
It's 20 entire episodes.
20 entire weeks. We haven't missed a week, which I'm super proud of. That's an accomplishment on its own. But yeah, welcome to the Just Gaming Tingz podcast. We bring an all queer perspective to video games, gaming news, nerdy stuff every Saturday. We're usually live at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the podcast eventually goes up everywhere else. So you gotta stay tuned on the Twitches so that you're the first to see it. You know. But yeah. It's been 20 episodes, and I wanted to discuss this with my friends. So we kind of came to a little bit of a conclusion that for at least today and maybe for the next couple episodes, we're going to be trying more of a casual approach to the podcast where we're still going to be talking about the headline things and what we're playing and all that, but in a more like casual way and less of like, you know, going through articles and doing all of that. We can kind of just share whatever we want to talk about, whatever we see on Twitter, whatever we see that makes sense to us. But before we get into all of that, we should do some intros. I'm Ruby. Hello. My pronouns are he, they. We have Jam. Jam is back.
Jam is back.
Hi. Hi, everybody. I'm Jam. My pronouns are he, him.
Yes.
And welcome in.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, we're so excited to have you back.
I've been gone for a million years.
We were so shook when Jam just joined our call, and we were like, ah!
Yeah.
Yes.
He didn't even tell us beforehand.
He did not. It was such a wonderful surprise. Such a wonderful surprise. Of course, joining us as well is the wonderful Koga. Hi.
Hello. My pronouns are he, him.
Yos. By the way, me and Koga did this week like a live reaction to the Nintendo Direct that took place. So y'all should check that out. It's on our YouTube. So yeah, stay tuned. And welcome back, Spin.
Hi. I was also gone last week.
Yes.
Because my shoulder exploded.
Yay.
We love to hear it. You're back.
It's like okay now. It's like not like amazing, but it does shoulder things, you know.
Yeah.
That's what a shoulder should do.
Definitely not a fun kind of explosion. Definitely not. We should clarify that.
No, not a good one.
I feel like whenever a bone explodes, it's never like great.
Unless you're at the chiropractor and they exploded in the right way and you're like, oh wow, you fixed it.
That is the moment.
Oh wow. But yes.
It wasn't that kind of explosion.
No, unfortunately not. Can you believe? But yes, welcome on in, everybody. Also, anyone who is watching us live on twitch.tv/justgamingtings, you can actually ask us questions. Can be anything gaming related, anything that happened this week that you may want to bring up or whatever it is. I did mention that we did see the Nintendo Direct happening this week, but we didn't discuss it too much because we wanted to save it for the podcast. So I did a little compilation from Eurogamer of everything that happened. So what I figured we would do is we could kind of each pick out some of our favorite things that got announced and that got revealed or whatever, and just kind of discuss, shed a light to it, and express our thoughts and feelings on it. You know? We can start with Spin. Let's change it around.
Change it around.
Okay. Lots of things happened in the Direct.
Oh, yes.
This might seem like a ridiculous thing to be excited about, but I am excited about it nonetheless because I'm okay. Y'all are gonna yell at me. I'm always a slut for a collector's edition. Like,
Oh, there's nothing to yell at you about. I thought you were gonna say something worse than that.
Same.
I'm like, yeah, I
Like,
get it.
I love
I
a
get
collector's
it.
edition. I love an art book.
Mhm.
I know this game's been out for a long time, but Hades is getting a physical release on the Switch, and it comes with an art book,
Yes.
art of all the characters in that beautiful art style.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sign me up.
Mm-hmm.
So when I saw this, I was like, I'm so glad that I did not already purchase Hades, because I would feel like a clown. Because I would have to buy it again for this art book.
Right. And you would.
I would is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm so excited. I'm definitely getting it. It comes out March 19th, I want to say.
Sure.
Yeah, March 19th. I'm absolutely getting it. Like, as soon as like pre-orders start, I'm pre-ordering it. I need this. I'm doing an unboxing on the YouTube channel. You heard it here first.
Yes. Okay. Sneak preview. Hey.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
And like, I wanted to play Hades anyway. Like, and I
Right.
wanted to get Hades eventually. But now I'm just like,
Yeah.
well, I need it now.
Yeah. I mean, if there's a game out there right now, like a recent game that you need an art book for, Hades
It's
is
this one,
probably the
yeah.
one.
Hades is definitely the one.
Like that art
Absolutely.
style, attractive characters. I've heard the game. I mean, not I heard. I can see it. Even as someone who's not pansexual or bisexual, I can see that it's a pansexual / bisexual's dream. So, yeah. I mean, all the characters are super attractive. You cannot go wrong with that. One of the things that I wanted to bring up was the tactical strategy RPG with possibly one of the worst names ever, but it's a working title.
Working title.
Yeah, it's a working title, so it's fine. So Square Enix revealed out of nowhere this game called Project Triangle Strategy, working title, and
Terrible name.
the second they said a working title, I was like, okay, good. Okay, thanks. Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
great.
Yeah, I kind of
People
figured that
working
when they said project.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, that's fair. I didn't think about that. It is called
Yeah.
Project.
Yeah, I think they did the same thing with Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. It was originally called, I think, Project Dragon Ball RPG or something along those lines.
Well, that's an original
Okay.
title.
Very.
Well, no.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
so,
people are like looking at this game as like a successor to Octopath Traveler due to like the art style of it all, but it's also like people are also seeing it as like a spiritual successor to the Final Fantasy Tactics series because it plays literally like that. They have a sample demo on the Switch eShop, and let me tell you, I've played that demo and I'm not even done with the demo. I've only done like one battle and I've done like a ton of cutscenes, and I don't know how long I have left, but I love it. I can't wait for the survey because I love a survey. And I will like tip type all my thoughts and feelings about it. It's gonna be great. But no, like it's basically like every character on your party has a different function. So you have a strategist, which is someone who that buffs your characters. You have 2 mages, you have a healer, you have a person that does bow and arrow, you have a spy, which is basically like a ninja. They can go invisible and like do stuff as long as you don't stand directly in front of someone. You can like do like a little cloud and then you become invisible and you just like zoom around. Okay,
Yeah.
what else was there? You obviously have a tank. The characters are beautiful. I thirst tweeted about a couple of the characters in the game, so that's a thing. And basically there's like a storyline about a war between basically like each big kingdom has access to a specific resource. So there's like iron, there's salt, and there's like a different one. And so that's where the triangle kind of comes from. And there's like one of them is basically starting a war with the others. There's a lot, like, the game is intense. Like, there's like, you see characters dying, you see, like, it's drama for sure, and I love it.
Yeah,
I love it so much. It's great. It's great. My only thing that's kind of sad about it is like it's only on the Switch, and I wish that other fans of that kind of series got to experience it, because I don't know, I just feel like some people are gonna miss out on the game due to that.
yeah.
Is it just the demo that's on the Switch though? And because like we don't know where the full game's getting released, right?
If it's anything like Octopath,
It will only be on the Switch.
I think
right?
it will only be on the Switch. Yeah.
Mm.
I can look it up while someone else brings up something that they're interested in. But as far as I understand, it's the idea is for it to be a Switch exclusive, maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I am very excited about the release of Skyward Sword HD on the Switch. I'm very, very, very excited. And that the motion controls are optional because they were hot garbage.
Yes.
Which means that you can play the game, and I'm very happy. I'm hoping that they also do other stuff, and now I can finally get a new Joy-Con and feel like it's worth getting because they have the special Joy-Cons. As opposed to just buying a new set of the Joy-Cons I already have to fix my Joy-Con drift that I have. So I'm very excited about that because I haven't played this game in forever and I want to play it again. And so I'm excited to play it on the Switch, which is going to be good. Because I think it's a lot of these games, especially Zelda games, I think do well on the Switch just because of the fact that it's portable and you can play it on the TV. Because they're just like games that make you want to like explore and go around, so you play them for such a long time, so you can play them anytime you want to. And I think that's my favorite thing, because I just think as much as Zelda has been great on like every other console, the Switch just fits so well because you can do it anytime you want. And this is a game that was very similar to Breath of the Wild, and just you kind of doing everything all the time and just kind of exploring and doing stuff. And so I'm excited to play it.
Yeah, I love that you're excited about it, because I've seen so many people kind of shit on it. They were like, ew, out of the many Zelda games, they're porting that one over.
Well, here's the thing. I get it, but I think Skyward Sword is one of the ones that like kind of didn't get the like it just didn't get the love that it kind of needed, I think, at the time. And I think that's why, because a lot of the other games around it got a ton of love. So I just think Skyward Sword, it needs that kind of like redemption of like, because it's not a terrible game, right? It's a good game, and it's fun. It's just that it came out at a time. It was like Nintendo went so hard on like motion controls need to be a part of the game, and it ruined the experience of the game when overall the game itself was very good. And so having a version of it that gets rid of that, I think will improve the game for a lot of people. Like a lot of people.
Yeah,
and so
go ahead.
no, that's pretty much it. Like that's why I'm excited for it, because I liked it. I hated the motion controls, like hated them, but I liked the game. And so having a version of it without that I think will make people see how good of a game it actually was. Like, it's not my favorite by any means, but it is a good game. And because I love Zelda in general, so having more Zelda games on the Switch is just good for me.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Sven?
I'm glad you brought up the thing about the motion controls, because as soon as they announced it, I was like, oh, but the motion controls. And then they said that you could turn off the motion controls, and I was like,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because like, especially like for me, I would not be able to play the game with the motion controls because it would hurt my hands too much.
It's
like,
awful.
It would hurt my arms too much. So if I were to play it with the motion controls, then I would only be able to play for like 15 30 minutes at a time because I would be like zip zooming, stabbing with my sword, and
I
then
love
my
the word
arm would be like,
we're using the
oh.
word zip zoom in as a thing.
It was zip zop
Sorry.
zooming all around, y'all. Zip zop zoom.
But yeah, my arm would hate that after
Right.
a while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
Yeah, their solution to this is if you turn off the motion controls, you basically like, use the right joystick as the motion controls, and I can kind of see that like
It's
hurting
not the
my hand as
best.
well. But
It's not the best, but it's
probably
better.
less.
Better.
It's probably like better than the than the
Right.
motion controls for me. So yeah, I definitely want to pick this up. I'm gonna see how I feel about their solution to the motion controls, but I'm so glad that there's like other options because like more basically like the way I feel like about accessibility in video games, accessibility is just giving people like
Mhm.
you're just giving people more options, and
Yeah.
like people can use those options for any reason that they want, and they can just like turn them on or off at any time, and that's increasing accessibility, and I love that.
Like I would say a prime example of that. Like, sorry to jump back in on this, but like,
Yeah.
is
How dare you?
the
Having
I've been
opinions
gone
on a
for a while.
podcast? How dare you? Hello?
Sorry. No, it's Super Mario Odyssey. Like honestly, like the way that they did the like with Cappy, and like the fact that like you could use a controller in a way that like made it like kind of motion control-y, where you were like throwing Cappy around and using it that way, or you could just use the button. So you could choose the way you wanted to do it, which allowed anybody with any level of dexterity for the most part to be able to play, right? So it just gave you the option. So they're like, oh, you can do it this way or you can do it this way. And it didn't limit you and say you can only do this, which is nice, right? So it gave you the option to choose what you wanted to do, even though both were on by default. So whatever choice you made, you didn't have to go in and like make the choice. It was just there, right? And so that was nice.
How do you know? Like this motion was terrible for me.
Don't do that on the internet. Don't do that.
you mean none of this?
I mean, if you want a gift, then sure.
If you want to make a gif of me, it's fine. I haven't been on the internet for a while. I'm back. Make fun of me. Yeah.
How do we feel about the price tag? Because it's €59.99, which I think is $69.99 USD, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Someone correct me if I'm wrong.
I think it's probably $59.99. I don't think they're charging $69.99.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it'd be $59.99.
Okay.
Because that's definitely something
That's
Nintendo
the
would
standard
do.
price for a Switch game.
Yeah, I know. Like some people were very happy about it being full price, but I'm like, I mean, it's Nintendo, and you're gonna buy it anyway.
I don't know why anybody expects that they wouldn't. Like,
I mean, it's like they're gonna buy it anyway. That's the thing. You're gonna buy it, so they're gonna keep it at that price. It's what they do.
Yeah.
It sucks. It's smart, but I mean,
yeah, because I'm going to buy it. I'm going to spend $60 on the game. Like, I am their target audience. I shouldn't, but I will.
Oh my god! No. Like we can complain about the Nintendo prices till cows come home, but we're still gonna give them all our money.
We sure are.
damn it.
Take my money,
And
please.
by we, I mean me.
Listen, as someone who's getting into the Legend of Zelda games, did I choose the worst one to get into? Potentially. Majora's Mask is,
No,
I've heard, very hard. So I'm like,
it is very.
But anyway, but seeing it, I was like, okay, cool. I didn't have a Wii U, so this is a cool way of me experiencing it, especially without the motion controls, because I just prefer, like, I don't know if this is like me being old and being like, oh, I prefer my games to be played with a controller, but
Right.
I do prefer my games to be played with a controller. Like, motion controls can be cute if you're like, oh, let me give it a try, sure, but like not for always. Like, that's the thing that kind of annoyed me, and I'm glad that Nintendo is listening to people's like feedback, because that was a thing on Pokemon Let's Go where they forced you to like throw the Pokeball with
Oh, I cheated on that one.
with the motion control, and unless you were doing it like in the portable version, in which case I think you could just like press the button. But I'm glad that they're listening, and we can even get into like other stuff that shows that they're listening to like players' feedback, and I'm just happy about that because it's good for accessibility. I think it's good that I think they can justify the price tag because it's not just like an upscale, right? Like it's that, but also they reworked a system in which you can play without the motion controls.
Yeah.
So hopefully that means a smoother gameplay experience. Even with the motion
they did
controls.
some back end work.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Exactly. Do you have any thoughts on it, Koga?
I think that them just making it an option is fine. Like if you want to put in motion controls, but just don't force it because it doesn't always work very well. I mean, again, I've said this like multiple times. That's the issue with like, Star Fox Zero. The game was all right, but you forced us to use motion controls and we didn't want to. So it didn't do well. And now they're not talking about they don't know, when they're going to make another one. But it's like you kind of did it to yourself. Just make it an option because some people may not want to. Some people can't do that. Yeah. So options are good. Just give options.
Give people options.
Yeah. So I wanted to go into that, like with the next game we were talking about that was similar was Mario Golf because we were kind of concerned. Mario Golf. We were concerned that they were going to be okay. Please do not force us to use motion controls. It's an option, and I'm fine with that. Sometimes you might want to get up and golf. Sometimes you just might want to press the button.
Right.
So I think is that supposed to come out maybe the summerish or something?
Sometime this year. Time is a flat circle.
I Google.
Not time being a flat circle.
We Google. Yeah, I think sometime in the summer.
I mean, I don't have a Switch yet, so I can't get it. I don't know. I'm waiting on this 4K Switch, and a part of me is just really feeling like in order for this to happen, I have to buy a Switch now so they can announce it the next week.
It's just June 25th. Sorry.
Oh my god, I know.
Yeah.
Like when you finally do like get a Switch, that's when they're gonna announce the 4K Switch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
But that's definitely a game I do want to get. I do like the Mario sport games because I don't care for like simulation sports, but arcadey sports, I'm all for it. So when they do like that, the Mario Striker series, and what was the other? Tennis, although Aces, I didn't play much of that one. They had like some story mode where it was like you had to do like some weird objectives. I'm like, I just want to play tennis against people.
Mario Tennis is so fun.
I love Mario Tennis.
Yeah, playing against people with that one was actually like a lot of fun. So for this one, and then you can play online. Hopefully that runs well. And then there's a story mode where you play as your Mii. And that kind of reminds me of like the Game Boy Color version of Mario Golf, where you had to create a character and you ran through like I think it was kind of a storyish mode. I can't remember. It's been 20 years. I'm sorry, but it was kind of like
20 years. Oh,
yeah. That's just how it is with me now. It's like I just start. It's like 2021. I'm like, oh my goodness, stuff was a long time ago. Feel like another lifetime.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah, that reminds me of a tweet that I saw this week where someone compiled a list of properties and how old they were, and some of them were like 30, 20 something, 15, 10 years old, and I was like, no, I feel old because I saw all these franchises exist and like be created, and I'm like, oh no, this is not cute. I totally agree with you though on Mario Golf. Like I've never played a Mario Golf game, but I love like a cutesy sports game with like a story mode. And I just love the idea of like my gay ass me running around with Peach like, "Hey girl, let's go."
I love that.
I love the potential for the online stuff. They have like a speed golf mode, which looks chaotic, which I'm always here for.
Chaotic sports is best sports.
I saw Wario in there. Hopefully Waluigi is gonna be in there. I also saw the
Better be.
Redacteds took a screenshot of Luigi, of a certain body part of Luigi, and they're like, I'm here
Did they,
for
though?
this.
Did they?
The Redacteds always, I mean, I don't know if this is a thing that Nintendo does purposefully, but they always give Luigi a little something. So, you know, that's
They know what they do.
Luigi is here for the Redacteds. Let's just say that.
Where's the gay intern?
The gay intern stays winning at Nintendo Inc.
Truly.
That's
Can we talk about the
funny.
fact that also no Breath of the Wild information? Too.
Yeah, I think that's why people were pissed most of all, because they were like, there's no Breath of the Wild 2 information, and then you're gonna give me this game that wasn't that old. Because I feel like the Legend of Zelda stands, as far as I understand, they wanted basically anything but that one.
Well, I
So-
mean, I don't know. I think it was like the best option. I mean, yeah, it's 10 years. So,
Yeah.
yeah, 10 years. And it was on the Wii, and the Wii was standard definition. So,
Mhm.
I mean, it was definitely probably the next. I mean, they kind of done it. I did it with like, what was it?
They did it
Wind
with
Waker.
everything.
Yeah, Wind Waker, and then Twilight Princess. So, yeah, Skyward Sword is next up in line.
Yeah, and there's always a chance of them remaking something and just announcing it later this year anyway. Like, we don't know. Like, they just said that they're working on stuff, so I'm assuming that they're not going to do anything for the 35th anniversary. You know?
Is that this year?
Right.
Yeah. So, I think it's 35th, right? Or is it 25th?
No, it's 35th.
35th? Okay.
35th. Ooh, damn.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would assume Nintendo is really good at anniversaries. So I would assume that they wouldn't just like, oh yeah, nothing is happening.
They're going to give you another Zelda character for Smash.
I mean, listen. Do the stands want another sword user? Maybe not. Did they get one
Wait.
this week?
Did they buy
it?
If they bought it, then they want it.
That's true. That's true. Do you have we can go around and pick another one if we want to pick another highlight from the direct.
Yeah. I had an idea of something. 'cause
Yes.
Then, since you mentioned anniversaries,
Mhm.
it was also Mario's 35th anniversary recently.
Yeah.
And a while ago, they announced that they were doing Animal Crossing, an Animal Crossing update that was Mario themed, and they showed all the Mario themed stuff in this direct, and I am using it. Okay, I'm so excited for this.
Yes.
So, update is coming the 25th, so 5 days from when we're recording this. And you can start buying stuff in Nook Shopping on March 1st. There's like all kinds of Mario themed furniture. There's like outfits. Like we saw like Animal Crossing people dressed up as Peach and Mario and Luigi.
And Wario.
Yeah, and
I am ready.
okay, the thing that I am like absolutely losing my mind over is functioning warp pipes.
Mm-hmm.
You can have functioning warp pipes on your island.
I know, that looked so iconic.
And like when I was watching y'all stream the direct, and my partner like burst in and he's like, warp pipes. We're like
Aww.
already planning. We're gonna use the warp pipes on our island.
I love that.
To, like, make it easier to get around, because like honestly, like everybody thinks their island is like so small compared to everybody else's island, but they're actually like huge. Like there's like stuff all over the place.
Right.
That's like, and like we're especially like my island on my Switch Lite, like my off-stream one. I put my house in like the most inconvenient location because I wanted to be extra and have the hill.
Of
all the way back.
course. As one does.
So I have to do like so much running to get to like the center of town.
Not if you have a warp pipe, honey.
Warp Right.
We're changing the game.
Yes.
They said you wanted fast travel in Animal Crossing, you got it.
Yeah.
You can have your secluded house on a hill, like far away from everybody, but you can also be like in the middle of town in a second. What's up?
You can also like strategically place it so it's not like super obvious looking. Like you can maybe put it like behind your house or something like that so that it's
I just had an idea. Oh my god. Okay. So in Animal Crossing, they have items. There's like a hedge standee, a tree standee, that like it's like a wooden like standee of like a tree or a hedge. It would probably fit behind one of those if you wanted to like not have it ruin the aesthetic of your island.
Okay.
Like if you don't necessarily want like a warp pipe to be visible on your island, like you could probably just put it in one of those standees.
You're giving me inspiration. I am ready.
There's also a really tall fence. There's the vertical board fence is like really tall. And it would also probably hide it.
Well, there you go.
Ideas.
Yes.
So if you just want the function of the warp pipe without the aesthetic of the warp pipe, you got it. Animal Crossing's got you.
Yes. I saw people were excited as well that the items were purchasable because I think, as far as I understand, in previous updates, they relied it on like balloon drops and the RNG of that. So
yeah,
that's cool. I'm very tempted to get Animal Crossing because I'm like, oh no, this is like a limited edition event. And you could probably like time travel to March of 2021 in the future and just be like, hey, I want that event again. But maybe you can't. Maybe there's another update that, crosses that out. So I'm very, very tempted. I hope they do a Sonic event at some point. Listen, the little Sonic running shoes, Amy's little hammer, her little dress, her little headband. Tails is like goggles. Gimme now.
Love it.
And I mean, yeah, they have had a working relationship with Sega, with Sonic and Mario events and games. So why not?
Why not Sonic and Animal Crossing
as well?
If y'all could choose another crossover Animal Crossing moment for a future event, what would it be?
I had a thought about the Sonic one.
Ooh.
Y'all could if you're watching the video version of the podcast, you saw the idea enter my brain.
I did see the idea, but I thought it was like for a crossover. So that's funny yeah.
Okay. So, functioning warp pipes in this update, in a potential Sonic update.
Yes.
Functioning loop-de-loop.
A hoop-de-loop.
With the
yes.
With the little running pad.
Oh, I would love that. Or like those little the speed boosts that Sonic has.
Yeah.
You could just like put one of those and just zoom across your island. That would be so cute.
That would be so good.
Okay, give me.
Yes.
Give me.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be great. A little Eggman mustache. Oh.
Yes.
The little spaceship. Oh my god, I would love that. I would love that. The little chows. Oh. The little Chaos Emeralds. Yes. Gimme now.
Okay.
But yeah, do y'all have any ideas for any crossovers you would like to see? Maybe like a Legend of Zelda one, because it's like an anniversary situation. I think that could happen.
Yeah, Legend of Zelda would be good. I basically I'm super happy there's a Mario one because that's the one that I wanted from the beginning. So they did it. So I guess.
Right.
I guess I'm happy.
Yeah, I mean the one you wanted is happening. So yeah. Ooh,
Yeah.
a Pokemon?
Maybe they'll do a Pokemon.
Great
Really?
minds. Great minds. Yes.
Yeah. They could just do a Pokemon one.
Listen, it's not too
Yeah.
unrealistic. They're Nintendo properties. It could happen, right?
Yeah, this is true. This is true. I would be happy to see that. That would be good.
A little Ash Ketchum outfit for your village.
Yes. A little Misty outfit, like the little shorts, like the jean shorts. Random side note, they're selling those here. Like they're doing I forget which jean brand is doing it, but they're selling like Misty shorts for like 90 euros. And I'm like, not that.
90 euros for no material?
Right?
For like, yeah.
In a pandemic?
That's a
Yeah.
little much.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I think it's
God.
Levis apparently. Levi's? I don't know how to pronounce
Levi's.
things.
Levi.
It's a moment. One thing that I was
boy.
actually interested in, I feel like nobody else was interested in from the entire presentation, was the I forget the name of it, but it's like the DC girls situation with
Oh,
like the girly
that game.
superheroes. I feel like everyone is like, that game looks awful, and I'm like, that game looks so gay, and I love it. It's just like, I love like,
It's kind of made for you.
I mean, it's like, I love hyper femme games. I feel like we don't have enough of those, so I just love the idea of like you playing as a female superhero, a team of female superheroes, and it's like not gritty, it's not serious, it's not drama. It's just them being like, oh my god, let's go shopping, and then being like, oop, we got a notification, we got to save the world, I guess. And then, there they go. I love that. There's just, it's called DC Superheroes Girls Teen Power. Okay, maybe that should be a working title.
I hope so, because that's a lot.
Maybe that should be a
It's a
working
lot.
title. But
That's a full mouthful.
I love it. It's coming in June too, so I'm just like, I love it.
Yeah, maybe I feel like the universe kind of saw your desire for like a Sailor Moon game, and we're like, we can give you this one.
Right?
We can
Maybe
give you this.
Bandai
Yeah.
Namco looks at it and they're like, interesting. Let me make a Sailor Moon one. The redacteds need it.
I love that.
Yeah, what
I love
other
that-
highlights did y'all go ahead, Spin?
No, I was just like, literally, I've only seen like people shitting on that game. and
I
you're just like,
know.
"Yes."
I've only seen people shitting on it too, but I'm just like excited about it.
I know.
It's like it almost like reminds me of like Powerpuff Girls, like what a Powerpuff Girls would be, like a game would be, or like Totally Spies, just like something just like girly and fun. That's what I want. Do you have any Koga, any highlights that you wanna?
Yes. All right. So for me, another one was the Ninja Gaiden Master Collection. That's supposed to be coming out on June the 10th. That's going to include Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, and Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge. Of course, this is soon after it's also coming to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and also Steam. Thank God, because
Yes.
none of these games have ever hit like PC like ever. So that's a first.
Oh, that's fun.
So I'm actually happy about that because these games were pretty good. Well, I played the originals, like Okay, so hold on, because there was 3 versions of Ninja Gaiden 1. There's Ninja Gaiden
God.
Black, and then Ninja Gaiden Sigma. The Sigma ones are the ones that came out on PlayStation, and then 3 Razor's Edge came out after the original third one because that game actually honestly just kind of sucks. And I didn't play the Razor's Edge one because I would have to buy the game again.
Oh, not that.
And I'm like, I don't have enough faith in that one. So I can't speak on that one, but from my experience from playing like the originals 1 and 2, they were actually like pretty good. So the versions that are coming on this collection are the Sigma versions, which some people prefer the originals. I think there was like some type of editing with the blood or something and whatnot. I know the PlayStation version definitely had screen tearing, but I assume they will probably take care of that with these upcoming updates. I know on Xbox, for backwards compatibility, Ninja Gaiden Black and Ninja Gaiden 2 are already there and also put up to 4K. So I'm curious on how they are going to handle this for the PlayStation 4 Pro, PlayStation 5, and also the Xbox One X, Xbox Series XS. Okay, I understand. That's a little bit much. Microsoft, please.
Microsoft, please. What are you doing? Send help.
All you gotta do is refer to them as the Xbox series of consoles because it works on all of them.
Yeah.
I'm just call it sex. I'm just go back to calling it sex box. It's a lot easier.
That also
I
works.
like that.
I can
That
see
does
I can
work.
see that being a good approach.
I stand for it. I'm here for
absolutely.
it. Sex positivity. Sex box.
Absolutely. Sex positivity on this channel. We support it.
I'm back. Causing shenanigans. First hit back.
Someone has to.
I
Listen.
love that. Listen, Jan said I'm back and I'm spicier.
Yes.
Always, honey.
Spicier than ever.
Spicier than ever, even though it was freezing for 3 days.
Oh, God.
Oh, not this.
It's been a rough week weather-wise.
Right.
Nah, it's good.
To say the least. Do you happen to have
As
any?
you can see, the sun is out.
I love that. Yes. We approve. Good weather, please.
Mhm.
Do you happen to have any other highlights that you want to discuss?
I currently do not, mainly because I'm still catching up on Nintendo Direct, but I am excited for all the other things.
Yeah.
Like the list of things sounds really exciting, so I'm like excited about all of it, but like nothing in particular because I haven't like fully like gotten a deep dive into it yet.
Yeah. I don't have too much to say about what I'm going to mention, but I am looking forward to the Legend of Mana remake. I'm looking forward to, because I didn't play the original, and so the remake looks really, really cool. I just like that we're in an era where like old stuff that you may have missed out on is readily available or becoming readily available through like ports and remasters and stuff like that. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for the Famicom Detective Club stuff.
Oh yeah.
Because those were released in the 80s and they basically redid the graphics, the music, the sound effects, and they're releasing them as like basically new games, and it looks so good. Both of the games looked so good, like the animation and everything. And I also am excited for Miitopia because it just looks chaotic and fun. And I can make like my friends, my party members, and I can make my enemies the enemies of the game. And we can beat them up, and it's great.
Love that.
Although I did hear that the game doesn't have like a lot of content, so I've seen some people kind of complaining that the price tag doesn't really match with like how much content there is, because apparently the game is like kind of repetitive. But I'm here for it because I'm here for chaos and drama.
Right. I've seen a lot of people who like didn't get to play Miitopia in its original form, like really excited about Miitopia.
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool that like I know a lot of people there's some people that are like, oh, like they're porting everything, like everything's ports, but like so many more people got a Switch that did not have like a Wii or a Wii U
Or a DS or a 3DS or
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, because like they took Nintendo basically took the people, their console market and their handheld market and like merged them together. So and some people like only bought a handheld or only bought a console. Like me, I was only a handheld person,
Mm-hmm.
and now I have a Switch, so I missed out on all these console games.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And a
So
lot
I'm
of
kinda
people
excited
missed
about
out
all
on.
that.
Yeah, and a lot of people missed out on the Wii U. Like it probably might be one of their worst, if not the worst console they made. Definitely one of them. So for them to put them over to the Switch just makes sense because you didn't have them. So it's like,
Yeah.
unless you're someone who like had them already and you bought them, I can understand why people are like, okay, I already played this. Although I think was it like Super Mario 3D World came with like the Bowser's Fury, so that was a little bit something extra. But for them to port games that were only tied to that system that probably cost way more now than that system should, I think it's good that it's available. And I'm hoping that one thing I'm hoping is that Nintendo keeps doing is backwards compatibility, so when their next thing comes out, we don't have to buy them again.
Right.
So hopefully,
Yeah. Hopefully they're looking
Although-
at like Xbox and Sony, and they're looking at how we're not necessarily making huge leaps as far as like a new console generation doesn't mean that you have to leave the previous one behind. So that's what I'm hoping for with like the next reiteration of the Switch, whether it's Switch Pro, 4K, or whatever. I just hope that it's still like anything is playable on the regular one. Maybe some stuff is only playable on the new one because of graphic limitations and stuff like that. But it's still backwards compatible.
Yeah.
Right. I hope so.
Just let me play them.
Nintendo, like, especially for handhelds and with consoles too. I mean, you could play GameCube games on the Wii. Like, there's been like historically really good about backwards compatibility. But I feel like in this most recent generation, it is like a lot of ports.
Yeah.
Instead of like making things backwards compatible.
Yeah.
Because they kind of like they realize they can still sell it and people will buy it again.
And I do think that they can kind of justify it because of the graphical differences between like a 3DS and like a Switch. They can be like, oh, we up-resed it. So, and even like not that long ago, the Switch overtook the 3DS as far as sales. So it makes perfect sense that they're like, listen, this console is outselling some of our previous consoles and handhelds. So it makes perfect sense for them to be like, hey, here's something that you missed. Teehee. Right. Also, we're charging like $50 or $60 for it, and you're gonna pay for it.
Yeah,
it makes a bit of sense because like the 3DS and the 3DS, they were like two screens and sometimes had different functionality. So if they do like put them on the Switch, then they would have to do something with the
there's a lot to change there.
Yeah, for sure. I also forgot about Saga Frontier. That's also something that I want to mention because that's another series that I never got into, and they're getting like a HD version. So, yeah. Anything else before we move on to what we're playing these days and all that? Anyone wants to?
Oh, I suppose we should mention Splatoon 3.
Oh yeah, I guess we should, huh?
Maybe so.
That was kind of the closer.
I was actually that would be our closer.
I was actually curious. I'm like, are they going to go this whole thing without talking Splatoon 3? Like, I don't play Splatoon, so for me, it wouldn't make sense for me to say anything. But I'm like, there's no one excited about Splatoon?
Yeah.
Well, I like Splatoon, but I just
yeah,
like it's fun, but it wasn't like it's an arena shooter. It's fun.
I actually got Splatoon 2 when I got my Switch because I got a bundle so my Switch is the Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee bundle that they did. And so a retailer had a thing where you could actually choose a second game for free to add on to the bundle. And because I got Pokemon Let's Go, I wanted like a multiplayer game to go along with it. So out of like the list, I think they had like 5 or 6 games, which looking back, some people would probably shoot me in the head if they knew that I had Breath of the Wild as an option and I went with Splatoon. But I did because I wanted like a single player and a multiplayer. And I was like, I've heard good things about Splatoon. At the time I had friends that played it and stuff like that. So I wanted to get into it, and it's fun. It's not something that I'm like, I looked at Splatoon 3 and I wasn't like crying about it or like super excited about it. But I do like that it doesn't have gender options. You can just be your little squid person and just do your squid things, and you don't have to label yourself as a gender, which I love.
That's pretty great. That's pretty fantastic, honestly.
Yeah, I do definitely think, like, especially in Nintendo games recently, they've been pretty good about that. And, like, I'm hoping, like, going into the next Pokemon games, like, they'll start getting rid of gender.
Yes.
It's like, I thought it was weird that it was included in Sword and Shield, honestly. Because, like, with Animal Crossing, like, there's no gender.
Yeah, that's true.
With Splatoon 3, no gender.
Yeah.
Like, I really feel.
But
like,
I wonder
Pokemon, like,
I wonder if in Pokemon it's because it's still done by the Pokemon Company, right? Which is separate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like even though they're under Nintendo, like they're doing their own thing. So things that are like still like kind of in, because even though Pokemon is like 100% a Nintendo, you know, franchise, like no, there's no doubt about it because it's only on Nintendo.
Yeah.
The Pokemon Company is run by someone else who who I don't think has moved as far forward with many things. Though, you know, you have a lot of, you know, many of the Pokemon themselves they've had more and more Pokemon that become either not having a gender at all or like switch between genders. So it's not like as they evolve. So they're like male and then female, and it's very interesting.
Yeah. I hope that they take the
Yeah.
feedback from this generation, because it was very silly having certain hairstyles locked or
Yeah.
the like makeup and stuff like that. So hopefully next gen or even whatever remake, because I'm assuming they're going to do a remake of a different gen before they do a new one. So hopefully, yeah, hopefully as we go
Jennifer remix on
forward,
Circle.
they're gonna do that. I guess that's the thing though that we can kind of talk about. What is a thing that you wish we would have seen in this direct? Because if you think about it, this direct was the first one to happen in so long. They've had mini directs, they've had partner directs, they've had franchise specific directs, but they haven't had like a proper Nintendo direct in so long. So were you disappointed to not see any particular things on it, or maybe expecting others to be a part of it and they weren't, or what are we thinking?
I mean, you know, I was hoping for Gen 4 remake.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me that's probably it, is that I was hoping for like a Gen 4 remake. But other than that, I don't think I was really worried about too much.
Yeah, my expectations weren't too high. I mean, of course, I wanted to see the 4K version of the console, but they did mention it was just going to be games.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would still like to know, is you know, Metroid Prime 4 and Bayonetta 3, are they okay?
Right?
Valid. I didn't even think about that.
Interesting how 2 female-led games were announced and then just completely vanished after being teased. Are you okay, Bayonetta? Blink twice if you need help.
Are you good?
We miss you. I haven't played Bayonetta 2 though, so I'm probably part of the problem. They're
I haven't
like,
played the
listen, Bayonetta 2 flopped. So
Well, it was on the Wii U.
Yeah, that was their
they
fault.
did bring it over to the Switch.
I bet they did. Didn't it come like some? I think it came like a bundle with one or something.
So I think, as far as I'm aware, the retail version came with a download link for the first one. I think digitally they sell them separately. I think, don't quote me on that. And then they sold Bayonetta 1 in a bundle with a different game that was developed by Platinum, I think. So I don't know what they're doing. But I just hope that I love the original Bayonetta, so I would love for them to. They could even do a thing where they do a bundle of the 3 games,
Yeah.
or they do a bundle of 1 and 2 leading up to the release of 3, or something. Just something. So there's that. Oh, we love Discord, and the camera's just moving around. So don't mind us. Don't mind us if you're watching. Don't mind us.
Okay.
We're good. We're good.
Fine. We're back.
But I wasn't really surprised that they didn't do any Pokemon stuff, because for Pokemon they usually do Pokemon specific directs. But I was kind of not expecting, but I was kind of like, oh, they could have said at least like, hey, Pokemon news are coming soon.
Right.
I'm assuming they have a direct coming as we're approaching with the Pokemon Snap release. I would assume that they would have like more info.
I hope so.
And maybe like a Pokemon Snap demo along with it, something. I think that would be cute. I'm surprised we didn't really get any like news or teasing of like any Mario stuff, like mainline Mario stuff. Because it's been a while since, like, I mean, they released the All-Stars collection thingy, but they haven't really said anything about, like, a sequel to either, like, the
Odyssey.
to Odyssey, thank you, or, like, a new one, or, you know, just, I was kind of surprised, but I think the main thing that we need is, like, updates on, like, the console, because everybody, I feel like we're reaching a point in the generation where people are just kind of waiting to see, like, hey, is there a 4K version? Because, like, it's been rumored for such a long time. Is that a thing? What's going on?
I think they wait for a new mainline title until they release the next console. Like, I think they'll keep doing
it. Could be a launch.
I think it'll be a launch title like they did with Odyssey, and then what'll happen is they'll keep releasing, like, 3D World with Bowser's Fury and all of that kind of stuff. Has been, like, that's going to keep them going, because they already had the, like, release of, you know, the classic trilogy, you know, last year, and that was, like, a big thing. Like, even though people were upset about the price and the limited time window to get it, but, like, that was a big thing because a lot of people love that. All three of those games, right? Like Sunshine and Galaxy, especially, and 64 people are just nostalgic for. So I think adding in, I don't think they'll come out with a mainline game. Like, maybe next year, and, like, with COVID, like, you know, they're just gonna take time. So
yeah,
we're not gonna get another. What we're gonna get is another Super Mario Galaxy 2 probably beforehand, right, Nintendo? Right?
That would
probably.
I wouldn't say no to that.
Because
that would be
they left that out of the collection, and some people are like, why would you do that?
Right.
My personal theory is that they're going to bundle the new version of the Switch with the new Zelda.
Probably.
And they're probably going to replicate what they did with Breath of the Wild, where it came out on the Wii U and the Switch as a launch title. So they're probably going to do something similar. That seems like something that they would replicate because it worked. I even forgot that Breath of the Wild was on the Wii U. I just assumed it was, like, a Switch, like, launch title, but no, it was kind of like a cross release.
Yeah, it was originally.
It's actually a Wii U title, and they just ported it over to the Switch. But more people were interested in the Switch, so the Wii U version kind of got, like, left behind and forgotten, unless you were, like, using, like, an emulator to play a better version of it. Otherwise, the Switch version was the one that people were buying mostly.
Yeah. I feel like Breath of the Wild was, like, so synonymous with the Switch that, like, I had totally forgot there was a Wii U version of that too.
Right.
Well, it was supposed to be a Wii U game, and they kept putting it off because of development time, which in the end I think was good. Like, the game came out and was well done, right? You know, it had its frame rate issues at the beginning, but they fixed that. But, like, they did a very good job with, like, releasing a game that seemed meant for the Switch. And I think, you know, the Wii U, they only released it on the Wii U because if they didn't, people would have been upset, because you promised Wii U customers, like, a new Zelda game is coming for you and it's going to be this game, and then you didn't do it for the longest time and kept delaying it. If you only released it on the Switch, there would have been an uproar.
Right.
And it ran fine on the Wii U. I think the only difference is that it was 720p, and I know the Switch version, when it was docked, was 900p. So it didn't run, like, terribly on the Wii U.
Yeah, it ran well.
Yeah.
It just was better optimized in the end and looked better on the Switch. Right. But the Switch was a better console. It was bound to.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So one thing that I love about us doing this live is that we actually do get we have the opportunity to be corrected on the things that we say. So I did write down a couple things. So one of the things was that Octopath Traveler is indeed on Steam, so it's not a Nintendo exclusive. However, Project Triangle Strategy is supposed to be a Nintendo Switch exclusive. So unless they say something otherwise, the game is only supposed to come out next year, so there's still time for Square Enix to say something otherwise. But I think that seems to be the plan so far. So there's that. Thank you, chat, for correcting us. Thank you, Google, for the information. But let's talk a little bit about what we're playing, because we're always playing stuff. We're always doing things.
Always doing some things.
Always doing some things. So, Jam, I know you've been super busy, but have you had the opportunity to play any Tings recently, or since you've been gone from us, since you've been away?
I know.
We just miss you. We just want to hear you talk.
No, I haven't played.
Same.
I haven't played a ton of. I haven't played a ton of stuff. I've been playing. I have played. I've been getting into like the Hitman series of games. So I've been playing that.
Ooh, how's that been?
It's been fun. It's a lot of fun. Like I like the like strategy part of it and like trying to figure out how best to like do the kills in the game, which has been fun and do it sneakily. And then I started playing Miles Morales.
Ooh,
Super Spider-Man Miles Morales. So that also has been fun.
Yeah.
But mostly I've been working in lab and doing stuff and writing and trying to get ready for committee meetings and all those things. So not a ton of video game time, but it's been good.
I mean, you've been spending your time doing important things and also playing great games. Like it's just, I think you're doing something right. I think, listen, you're onto something.
We try. We don't want to waste the small amount of time we have to play games on bad games.
Yes. Yes. That part. What about you, Koga?
I'm still playing through the Yakuza 3 Remastered. I did stream that twice this week. I'm still in Chapter 6. I thought we were going to get past it, but there's side stuff to do, and there's training to do to get more moves. So I'm like...
Get into it.
Yeah, like I think I've like a total of maybe like 5-6 hours this week, and I'm just like still in like in the story. There's been no progression at all.
I feel like that's common in the Yakuza games. Like it's just like you think you're about to progress, and then it's like here's a bunch of side things to do that progress nothing.
Yeah, it's like that. And with this one, you can't. I mean, you don't have to. It's just that this game combat is a little. The AI blocks a lot in this game, so you want to level up to learn the moves and things that you can, and you do that by doing all the side stuff. They did fix this in later iterations, but in this one, it's kind of like, yes, I've done maybe 40, 45 side missions and whatnot. We'll get there eventually, hopefully. Besides that, I still play Dokkan Battle a little bit. I stopped because the anniversary is still going on JP, but I wanted to wait till it comes to global. I started summoning for Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta again. No go. So, rip. That's 800 Dragon Stones down the toilet.
Oh, not that. Well.
Yeah, I was waiting for this one since October, so I was like, okay, gimme. And it didn't. It gave me like Tech Gohan like 3 times. And dupes are fine, but I prefer to get new units rather than dupes all the time. And I already had them to begin with, so it's kind of like hurt my feelings a little bit. So I'm just now saving up until the anniversary hits global, like late June, early July-ish. Because while that's a long time, over here on JP, since ours is later, because that's when ours came out, was around that time frame, there's also a worldwide celebration that, JP and global share at the same time. That's like a month later, and it's almost as big as the anniversary. So it's like, yeah, you kind of have to have a lot of stones saved up for the summon on those because they release a lot of good units. So it's like you're better off saving up. So that's kind of what I'm doing on that now. And last thing, yeah, I've been playing a little bit more than I thought. Well, to be fair, I was off 3 days this week, so due to weather. Hey. So I've had a lot of time to play things.
Listen,
imagine that. I've been trying to play more Beat Mania. The game is Beat Mania Infinitas. This game is ridiculously hard for me personally, but I am making a bit of progress. On some other songs, I have gotten like better scores, better grades on it, so it's pretty cool on that. I also still been playing DJ Max. They had like a sale. I forgot what sale they were having on Steam last week. But probably I got Valentine's? The last one. No, Valentine's Day ain't that important to where they give us sales for that. It was.
I think Sony did a Valentine's.
Was it Lunar something?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Probably a bigger deal, yeah, than Valentine's. Yeah, that sounds appropriate.
Yeah, so, maybe so.
Yeah, Valentine's was my birthday, and I didn't do anything. There was nothing I could do.
Right.
So yeah, I just played DJ Max, and I got the last of the bit of the DLC, so I now have like all the songs on that for right now. I grabbed them all on sale, not when they're like full price. They added like a battle pass to this game, and I don't know how to feel. It doesn't sound like it's because overall it's cheaper than like the stuff, the like gear and like it's all, what's the word? Help me out. What's the word?
Scam.
Cosmetics.
I don't know.
Not scam, not a scam.
No, it's all cosmetics. So they added that. There's a free one to where you still get stuff, so it's not like you have to buy the battle pass thing. They call it a clear pass. It's like $15. So you don't have to. It's just you're gonna miss out on other stuff. But I think it's overall still cheaper than like buying like some of the gear and stuff they have on the store. So it's kind of just comes down to, after a certain amount of days, if you didn't get it, you're not going to get it in the future unless it comes back.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what I've been playing all this week.
Nice. Look at you. Nothing really changed dramatically. The only thing for me is like I completely stopped accidentally playing the mobile games that I mentioned previously. So on stream I've been doing Final Fantasy VII Remake, Majora's Mask, Tomb Raider 3. Those still are still going, and I'm loving all three of them for different reasons. Maybe love is a strong word as far as Tomb Raider, but it's fine. But I actually got the opportunity to try the early access for Bravery Network Online, and it's this really cute game. The animation style is gorgeous. It's very reminiscent of like Scott Pilgrim, and the characters are very like diverse and gender inclusive and queer inclusive, so I love that aspect. So it's basically like an arena. You have like a team of 5 people. They're all immortal, so don't worry, that's canon. Everyone is immortal and they die, but it's fine. They just regenerate. It's totally fine. And there's like it's even in the canon, like the characters being clones, and they're like, oh, that's just kind of a different reiteration of me. I will remember anything that happens with that person, even though that's not me. So it's just, the game is very quirky. The dialogue is fun and silly, and they have like an online mode, so you can basically build your team with different units and just battle different people. And what I love about that game is that they have different types of abilities. So a lot of people compare it with Pokemon because it's obviously like a team of different units and everyone has advantages and disadvantages, but there's no type matchups. The only thing is like there's 3 different types of attacks. So there's physical attacks, there's emotional attacks, and there's magical attacks. And the emotional attacks are stuff like, and some characters are more sensitive than others. So every character has like certain stats for physical defense, magical defense, and emotional defense. So for some characters, like an emotional attack is like you bribing them, and they lose a certain amount of damage because you bribe them, and they're like easy to fall for that. Or one of the status elements is like you invite them to lunch and they get hungry. And like a different one is like bragging, or or even like giving them a compliment and the person gets like flustered and they lose a certain amount of damage. Magic attacks, of course, is like fire, electricity, all of that fun stuff. And then physical attacks is just you get hammers, you get punches to the face, it's so dramatic. Yeah. It's so lovely, and I totally 100% recommend it, especially like as an indie game. I think they're doing so much in such a fun way, and I just love, that's one of my favorite thing about indies, is that they change things up so much and they are so creative, and they have like they innovate so much. So I'm loving it. I'm loving it so much. And of course Final Fantasy 14, I got back into it, and I'm still playing it basically every day, and it's been super fun. I just did they didn't call it Valentine's, but the Valentine's event. I got a cute little hat, but my character is a Viera, so she can't wear it. But I still got a little Moogle hat that I have in my inventory that I can just like look at but not use. So there's that. But I kind of teared up at the event. It was so wholesome, and like there was this whole thing about like, without getting too much into it, you basically help out this little girly, and she's like super inspired by your character, and she sends you a letter saying how much you inspire them and how much she loves you, and she wants to be an adventurer. And then you just basically like give her advice, and you can tell her like, hey, keep at it, you can do it. And they just had like, there's like a little girl group that pops up for the performance. Listen, it's a whole thing, and I love it. I love every single second of it. I'm not gonna spoil anything for anyone, but it's just so wholesome, and I kind of teared up a little bit because I was like, oh wow, that's very like, sometimes when you're a content creator you get into a thing of like, maybe I should try something else, maybe this isn't for me, or maybe whatever. And it just, the advice that I gave as myself in the game to this fictional character resonated back to me, and I was like, oh, maybe I should follow my own advice. And it just, yeah, it was very sweet, and it was very wholesome and lovely. What about you, Spin? What have you been playing?
Okay, so I haven't been on stream like all week because shoulder explosion.
Right.
But what I have been doing, I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy 14. And I may or may not have finished Heaven's Word in like 2 days.
Well,
you did not. You did not.
Goodness.
It's been like doing all of that and then being like, oh, my shoulder exploded. I wonder why.
Not this, not dragging him.
Yeah. I mean, before my shoulder exploded,
The audacity.
I may or may not have been playing Final Fantasy for like 12 hours.
See?
And
I'm
Okay,
on to
never
something.
mind.
I'm on
Never
to
mind.
something.
and I did go to physical therapy the next day, and my therapist was like, have you been like lifting weights? Have you been like, what did you do to and I was just like, I was playing Final Fantasy.
Not this.
And she's like, oh yeah, you've been holding like your mouse out like this.
Ooh.
Like that's probably what did that.
Oh.
So I've been trying to be
Maybe
careful.
so. Maybe so.
I've been trying to be cautious, but I am still playing a lot of Final Fantasy. And I did in fact finish Heaven's Word.
I love that. How are you liking it? How did you like it actually?
I love. Okay, no spoilers for Heaven's Word.
Yes, I'm
'cause I
still in
know,
Realm
like,
Reborn.
you're not
I'm
there
still
yet.
baby.
Yeah. But I like zoomed through Heaven's Word so fast because I was just like so into the story, and like I've heard that like it only gets better from here.
Ooh,
So
yeah.
I'm really excited about that. I did also get the big two-person blue whale mount for my tiny Lalafell,
Of course.
and it's amazing.
As one does.
Just a tiny little guy, just like sitting up on this big old blue whale.
I love it so much.
And it's so good.
It's iconic. It's so good.
Yeah, I've pretty much just been playing Final Fantasy 14, and I've been
I love that.
just finalizing that fantasy, you know.
The finalizing a fantasy that does not seem to end anytime soon, because this year there's a new update coming, and that's gonna be
And like
a thing.
I know when we talked about that, we were kind of like, oh god, is this the end? But no, it's just the end of this story.
Right.
Like, they made sure to be like, okay, it's just the end of this story arc. Like,
Yeah.
It's not going to be the end of it.
Yeah. Final Fantasy 14 is probably... I probably shouldn't make an assumption like this, but I would assume it's probably one of Square's most successful things, at least at the moment. Or at least most profitable.
Huge. Yeah.
So Final Fantasy 14 is huge. So I don't see them being incentivized to stop it anytime soon.
Right.
And just in case you needed more hype, apparently the writers responsible for Shadowbringers, which apparently was really, really good, probably some of the best according to the fans, they're responsible for the new updates. So people are like, great, Thanks. I just needed all the hype, didn't I? Thanks. So there's that.
Let's get into it.
I want to go to the
All
moon.
right.
I want to have a farm on an island.
Yeah. Oh my god, I forgot about that.
That's all I want.
Oh, that's gonna be great.
I just want to be a tiny little lalafell zooming around on my big blue whale, go to the moon, have a farm on an island.
I love that so
Yeah.
much. I love
I have
that
simple
so
dreams.
much. Yeah, I'm
All
loving my time with
right.
14. But yeah, we're gonna wrap up the show, the episode. But before we do, let's tell the people where they can find us each, and anything that we want to promote, anything that we want to talk about ourselves. So let's start with Jam.
You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram at jam_5899. And the only thing I have to promote right now is the paper that I just published on eLife.
Yes.
It's wonderful. It's beautiful. It's all about neural crest cells and how they become the neurons of your body. Like, let's get into it. And no one knows what I'm talking about, and neither do I. So it's wonderful.
Yeah, I love that you're like, oh, it's just a paper about this very cool thing that like I studied a lot for, just super cash.
Deal.
That's it. Everyone look at it. Go give it clicks, because my lab, we only publish in open access journals so that everyone has access to the research, because education should not be behind paywalls.
Yes.
And I said what I said.
Hell yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's on. I know he tweeted the link, so go to his Twitter now. Do it. Follow the account. Read the paper.
Do it.
Do it. Koga, what do you want to promo?
See, you can follow me here and on Twitter at Koga_Jangles. Should be streaming more Yakuza 3 this week. Okay, we'll probably get past chapter 6. Probably, hopefully so. I want to do Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. I wanted to do that this past week, but I had to completely reinstall Windows Tuesday night until Wednesday morning. So that wasn't very fun, and that kind of just caused a delay. But I mean, it's up fine now. Good.
That's good.
But that's pretty much all I have coming up this week. How about yourself, Ruby?
Yes. You can follow me at Project Ruby on Twitch, on YouTube, on Twitter, The Project Ruby on Instagram and TikTok. I'm just having fun with Final Fantasy VII Remake, with Majora's Mask, Tomb Raider 3. I also have a couple of indies that I'm going to get into because I got the opportunity to like stream them. So there's a narrative LGBTQIA plus game made from former Telltale employees. I'm gonna demo that on Monday, and I'm gonna play a game called Viola, which is like a rhythm RPG moment. It's like a turn-based RPG with like rhythm mechanics to it. So I'm super excited to also try that out on stream. It's going to be great. It's going to be wonderful. I also have my own podcast called Breakfast at Ruby's, where I just talk about anything, truly anything. It's great. It's wonderful. I have a blast doing it with all kinds of guests. Yeah, that's all. That's all for me. What about you, Spin?
Well, I provided this guy behaves. Should be coming back to streaming next week.
Yes.
Which I'm very, very excited about. I'm probably just gonna play just keep it a casual, cozy moment. Gonna play some Animal Crossing. Gonna play some Pokemon. I also have first week of March. I'm gonna be releasing new soaps in my soap shop. It's been Soap Cafe. I'm probably gonna be posting lots of soap videos to get y'all excited.
Yes.
Give y'all some sneak peeks of the new soaps. And you can find me at Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok at SpinBlend, and then you can follow my soap shop specifically on Instagram and Etsy at Spin Soap Cafe.
Yeah. I was gonna say if you don't promote your TikTok, I will because Spin does like unboxing, not unboxings, like the Animal Crossing
Amiibo
amiibo
cards.
card situation reveals, if you will, soap content, K-pop content. Listen, I'm gonna
I'm just
be
kind of trying everything over there.
yeah. I'm
Y'all,
just
spin is the moment.
Mhm.
Spin is the moment.
absolutely. This is a Spin Blend appreciation hour. It's what you deserve.
Oh.
As long as you
Truly, it's what
behave
one
and you don't
deserves.
ruin your body playing 14. But that's
Yes.
another story. Don't worry, y'all. I yell at him randomly to take a break.
Good. Hides in corner.
So there's that. Yes, we're gonna be back next week, next Saturday to be specific, with another podcast. Please follow us on Twitch. We're so close to affiliate. We're 5 followers away. It's
By the way.
completely free to follow. And if we become affiliate, or when we become affiliates,
Yes, when we manifest here.
when we become affiliates, we'll be able to actually monetize the content and be better for y'all, so we can purchase like
Yeah.
new games to play for y'all on release dates and stuff like that. So stay tuned.
Yeah.
We love you. We'll see you
We
next
love you all.
week.
Thank you.
And yeah, bye.
Bye.
Bye.